stone vet. I hit the ground running when I'm invading your country. Instill with honor and discipline. Throw my guns like onyx, dressed in camo with...
What's up, guys? Sergeant G here from the STONED VET USMC, man. Happy Friday. I'm glad you guys are here with me, man. Hopefully the weather ain't too bad where you're at. Here in the central, well, me and Michael here is from, it's been a bit warm. It ain't been stupid hot. In Oklahoma, it ain't been stupid hot, but it's been nice and warm. I can't complain, really. I mean, honestly, I don't think we've hit over 100 degrees, but we've been blessed lately. I mean, usually we're at 105, 110 degrees in the summer in the middle of August, but now that it's September, you know, it's starting to cool down. Fall's in the air. Fall's starting to come and trying to creep in a little bit. Texas, you guys usually stay summer all year round. I mean, you guys get a little bit cool, but...
Yeah, man, I'll be honest with you, though. Like, I don't think since I've been out of the Army, I haven't seen Texas have a classic Texas summer.
Right.
Not like what I was used to when I was growing up. Man.
No, absolutely, brother. And that's usually how it is, man. I'm glad you guys are here with us to enjoy this nonsense and this chaos of the STONED VET USMC. You know me, man. I spit some chaos, I spit some nonsense, but this is what it's about. I got to tell you guys, this is my therapy session. Instead of going to a counselor and fucking paying these guys hundreds of dollars to listen to my nonsense and stupidity, I'm able to spit it to my brothers and sisters that have served, that know the bullshit that I've been through and the shit I deal with on a daily basis, dude. You know, like I tell you guys, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Make sure you subscribe so you guys know when these episodes come out so you can get the new episodes every Friday. Like I told you guys, I've got a Wednesday episode that comes out. I'm going live on Thursday nights now, and I have a Friday episode. So you guys get me Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 3 out of 5 days a week, dude. That's pretty awesome, I think. Maybe you guys get a little bit stupid and like, I ain't listening to Sergeant G no more. He just spits nonsense half the time, man. Huge shout out to my sponsor, Rafa 180. Like I tell you guys, if you're looking for a medicinal grade CBD, dude, go check out Rafa180.com. I'm telling you, the product is amazing. It's an absolute phenomenal CBD products. Like I tell you guys, don't go to a gas station and buy your CBD products. Get your CBD from a reputable dealer. I mean, in Texas right now where Michael's at, CBD's a mass craze going on right now. CBD's huge in Texas right now. That's how it was in Oklahoma before we legalized medicinal cannabis here.
Hey man, every friend that I know, if they're not doing it, they're selling it. So it's a
craze, dude, but you got to make sure you're getting it from a reputable source, dude. Like I tell you guys, Rafa 180 has their products coming from the only FDA regulated lab here in the Midwest, man. Like I tell you guys, all their products except one is 100% THC free. They have one product that does contain the legal hemp limit of the 0.3%, which is within regulation of the hemp law, the farm bill that's out there. And it's like I tell you guys, go and check out the products that are out there. If you go over to Rafa180.com, they just actually upped the discount. It's 15% when you check out with the STONED VET USMC. Go to Rafa180.com. Check out all the medicinal grade CBD products. And they also got cool stuff like balms and lotions and lip balms and bath bombs that are just phenomenal products. If you guys haven't used CBD, definitely check out Rafa180. Don't go to a gas station to pick up the little products that you see at the gas station, because like I tell you guys, if you guys don't know the reputable source where it's coming from, if there ain't no QR code that you can scan to get the lab testing back from the product, it's probably not a good product, dude. I'm just telling you right now. It's medicine, and you can get bad medicine. We guys get enough medicine from the VA. You guys understand how fucked up that medicine is for us, right? I'm so excited that this Friday I got Michael here with me. Fucking prior service Army. Like I tell you guys, the Army loves coming on the STONED VET USMC, man. I love you guys, man. You guys are always coming in. But you guys are so big. You guys already understand how massive you guys are, how big the organization is, you know. But I get a lot of...
It's funny. I always get like I tell people I'm in the Army, they're going, hey, do you know so-and-so? I'm like, dude, it's a big Army.
No shit. It's not like the Marine Corps. It's not like the Marine Corps. It's a shit. You guys are fucking massive as hell, you know? And so that's one of the biggest things for you guys. I mean, for you guys to get an understanding of how big the Army is. I mean, you guys fucking hundreds of thousands of freaking service members are in the Army.
Yeah.
Unlike the Marine Corps, where we just have a matter of a couple 100,000. I think at one point we're up to like 245,000. It's a small Marine Corps. It's a small Marine Corps.
Yeah, that's like a brigade.
Right? Especially for the Army guys, you know. But I'm super excited. I got Michael here. Michael here is writing a book similar to, you know, you guys watched one of my previous episodes from a few months ago. I had Gunny Esterly on here. He's writing a book called The Untold Stories, was it The Untold Stories of Uncle Sam's Misguided Children, Born in a Bar, right? He's gathering stories from all Marines, telling about the chaos. You guys have served. You guys know the stupid shit that we've done. You guys know how fucking crazy the stories are from us serving our country, right? Serving in the military. It's fucking insane, dude. But that book's going to be awesome. He's launching that book November 10th on the Marine Corps birthday of this year. He's been busting his ass, getting his shit all together. So, because guess what? It's September, and that book's coming out here real soon, dude. Like, he's only got 2 months to get it launched. And you, Michael, you know, Michael's launching his own book called, what'd you say it was?
Life's Memorable Moments.
Life's Memorable Moments. And right now, he's saying his book is mostly about prior to joining the Army. Because you joined the Army a little bit late, right? You didn't join when you was 18 years old.
I didn't join the Army until I was 27.
Damn, you an old man, dude.
Yeah, hey, man, that's what everybody told me, dude. Even my drill sergeants, who I was older than all of my drill sergeants except for one, right? And so, like, the first thing that, like, I remember my drill sergeants going, like, how old are you? I'm like, 27. Going, what the fuck happened to you?
No shit.
You know, like, 'cause I was already, I was gray hair. I was already getting gray hair and whatever. I'm like going, it's been a hard life, man. Like, I don't know what to tell you, but yeah, man. Like, so, and then of course my sergeants, when I got into the Army, good old infantry, they don't sugarcoat shit.
Shit.
They're like going, they all ask me the same thing, like how old are you? I'm like 27. Going, Jesus, man. The only person that was older than me then was like some of the platoon sergeants and the first sergeant. I mean, I was older than my CO. So I mean, but,
damn, dude.
Yeah, it was something else. But yeah, so anyway, so volume 1, almost all of the stories in volume 1, except for I think one of them, are going to be prior service. I was a plumber from right out of high school all the way up until I went in the Army. So there's a lot of, in the construction world, was a lot different then than it is now.
Oh, yeah, I bet. I mean, construction world is similar to the military, dude. A lot of it is a lot similar.
It is.
Being a grunt and bringing all that shit, it's a lot of different, a lot of stupid shit.
Being construction before going in the military, I think really helped me through infantry school, because our basic training, because we do that OSIT shit. Yeah. And so, like, and for those who don't know, OSIT's one station unit training where you never get to leave, right? And so I remember one time specifically in basic, we had this drill sergeant named Drill Sergeant Shack, and he came in and said, "Okay, you motherfuckers, shut all your cock holsters." And man, I just busted out laughing. Like, I was laughing so fucking hard, it was stupid. And my drill sergeant walks over. He called me McQuarrie, right? Because my last name's McGarrey.
McQuarrie.
And he goes, "What the fuck? Why the fuck are you laughing?" I'm like, all I could come up with was like, "Lord, I apologize, drill sergeant. I never heard that one before." Like, everybody else is like crying, and I'm having the time of my life because I'd spent 7 years, 8 years as a construction worker getting drilled, right, getting picked on. Huh?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, especially being 18 years old, still straight out of high school, getting into in a plumbing field, man. The plumbing field in and of itself is a motherfucker, dude. You're gonna get some shitty ass jobs in the plumbing field, man.
Yeah, man. Like, I mean, this is like, some of these things are really funny. Like, I mean, so looking back on them, they're funny. Right? Like, while they were happening, it kind of sucked.
Yeah, no shit. Just like anything in the military, you look at it while you're doing it, you're like, this fucking sucks. But you look back at it, like, damn, I remember when I did some stupid shit like that.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so I come, like, okay, so I was like, what I like to tell you, but I don't think so it's kind of an intro. Like, in high school, I rode bulls. And, like, I mean, which everybody thinks is, like, crazy, but in Texas, that's pretty normal,
Right.
So, and then, and so, like, like, I had this chip on my shoulder that was, like most young punk teenagers do, especially guys. They had these chips on their shoulder about the size of Texas, right?
Right. And especially you Texas motherfuckers. You guys got a huge chip on your shoulder.
As shit, man. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I mean, and like, and we hold it, right? So But the thing is, like, I get into plumbing. I don't know anything about plumbing. I don't know the first thing about, like, I don't know what a pipe wrench is. I don't know anything, right?
Right.
And so the first day, like, they put me with this guy named Lynn while they call the guy that put me with this guy named Old Man Tom, who was 64.
Oh, shit.
And I was 18. And so Mike was like going, I need to call Old Man Tom to let him know he's getting a new guy because he doesn't
like, dude, I've been doing this shit longer than you've been alive.
Yeah. Like, Tom's very first words out of me was, you're either going to quit or die. And he literally tried to make one of those two happen. But Lynn, man, like he actually ended up being a lot like an uncle to me, and because I was the youngest person at Jeep Mechanical by easily 30 years. And so, I mean, I didn't really step into the mess, right? But really, Jeep Mechanical ended up being one of the greatest companies that, I could ever recommend. But this guy, man, he literally, he played so many practical jokes on me that like almost anything that came out of his mouth, I questioned whether or not it was real or not, like, even when it was something serious, I'm going, no, this is a prank of some kind, right?
No shit.
And that's still, like, I mean, that was my 8 years, for at least the first 4 years, until like I kind of started to understand when people were messing with me and everything else. And some, I made some pretty big mistakes too along the way that are pretty funny, like, I mean, that are just, and it's, like, you think about it now, like, I'm like, how did I not get fired? Or some stupid shit like that. And like, and then like, like there was this one time where, like there's a story called Friday Night Smurf where I end up I have a date on a Friday night, but because I was at work, somebody played a practical joke on me. I end up having a blue face and that wouldn't walk out, right? And like, I mean, there's shit like that happened. I was constantly being fucked with. And the whole point of the book is like, to let people understand that it's okay to laugh at yourself. Yeah. Like it's okay to laugh. And I'm making that apparent by letting everybody laugh at me, basically. Right. And because all these stories are true, like they all like, even the ones that don't sound like they're possible, trust me, they happen. Right. And the big thing on top of that is like, I'm letting people laugh at me to show that it's okay to be laughed at, that it's okay to laugh at yourself, Oh,
absolutely. I mean, especially being in the service. I mean, you did some time. How long were you in the Army for?
7 years.
You did 7 years in the Army. That's a weird ass contract. What'd you do? Did you medically retire too?
No, man, no, dude. Like, so my first duty station was Fort Drum, New York, way the fuck upstate. Right?
And you're from Texas, so that must have been a hell of a fucking change.
Yeah. So it was even funnier. Is like out of basic training, out of 54 dudes in my platoon, right? 53 went to someplace in Texas, except for me. I went to Fort Drum, New York.
Get the fuck out of here.
So it's like, I don't know who was doing this shit, but they like, I don't. Like, somebody must have known my dad when he was in or some shit like that, because like, I go, I know this motherfucker. We're sending him to drum,
Fucking
like,
Fort Drum.
Yeah. So I think a drum, and like drum is kind of like they call it one of the black holes of the Army. Once you get there, it's hard to get out. So when I was in Iraq, I re-enlisted just to get out of Fort Drum. Like,
I did the same shit too. I re-enlisted in the Marine Corps just to get the fuck out of New River.
There you go. See? Yeah. And that's pretty much like they offered me to go, so you want a bonus, you want like a school or whatever? I'm like, nope, just get me someplace south of Mason-Dixon line.
Right. So south of Mason-Dixon.
They sent me to Kentucky, which is barely.
Get the fuck out of here. Now you want it south? We got you south. We didn't get you far, but we got you south.
Yeah. And like I reported for duty in Kentucky, and like 3 days later it snowed. I was pissed.
You're like, motherfucker, dude.
So, but that's being the infantry. Yeah.
No, no shit, dude. Like, for me, I re-enlisted to get out of fucking New River. You know what they did? They sent my ass back to Iraq and said, "You're going back to Iraq." I was like, motherfucker, dude. I get back. I do my deployment over there. I get back. And my chief comes back up to me. He's like, "You've been here way too long. I was there for 4 years." I say, "No shit. I re-enlisted to get the fuck out. You guys sent me back to Iraq. I've been trying to get out of this fucking place, you know? I've been trying to get out of this fucking place. And he's like, where are you trying to go? I said, I re-enlisted to go to Fort Worth, Texas. They got a joint unit down there in Fort Worth.
Yeah, Fort Carswell. It's right down the street from where I live. I'm literally the Air Force base I was telling you about. I'm a block from it.
No shit. That's where I was trying to go. I was kind of trying to go there to the JRB there, and like, there's no openings. There's no openings. You know, I was like, motherfucker. I was gonna get out. Like, I re-enlisted because I was gonna do my 8 years, and I was gonna get out because I had a kid, and I was like, I'm getting out. I'm done with this, and I was gonna get out and be in Texas. I was be a citizen of Texas. You know. Right. And sure as shit, I told my wife, I said, well, it doesn't look like we're going to Fort Worth. Where do you want to go? She's like, let's go to Hawaii. I said, no. I said, you hear about people who go to Hawaii. You hear about people who go to Hawaii all the fucking time. In my MOS, you don't go to Hawaii, you know? Yeah. So I went back to my chief and I said, hey, he's like, I know the monitor. Let me call the monitor. He got the monitor on the phone. He had him on speakerphone. We were talking. Monitor's like, hey, Hawaii just opened up. You want to go? I was like, well, fuck yeah. Sign me up. He's like, you got to extend your contract. You got to extend your contract for another year. I said, that's fine. I don't give a fuck. Extend it for another year. It's cool. Whatever. So he extended me for another year. I told my wife, I said, we're going to Hawaii. She's like, are you kidding me? I said, no, I got fucking orders to Hawaii. We'll be leaving. And sure as shit, we got fucking 3 years in Hawaii. And I was like, I lucked out. I said, honestly, I lucked out because I was like, in the Marine Corps, it's mostly a bunch of grunts. It's mostly our O3s that go over there because we got a lot of O3s over in Hawaii, you know. But me as an engineer, we work hand in hand with the O3s. So whenever they deploy, we deploy. When they go to the field, we go to the field. We do the same shit they do because we have to support them. And so that, like me, I said, so I had 9 years. They said, you did 9? I said, I did 9. They're like, you were almost halfway. I said, yeah, but you don't understand what it took me to get to that 9.
I
said, the shit that it took me to get to that 9 without getting in fucking trouble and fucking NJP or fucking page 11 or whatever, Article 13s or whatever. You don't understand what it took me not to get that shit just to make it to the 9 years, let alone serve another fucking 10 years on top of that. You know what I'm saying? 10, 11 years to put me at 20, then what? You know, you guys don't understand the fucking stupidity I had to deal with during that time.
That's one of the things. Like, I mean, every time I talk to somebody, like going, I can't believe somebody makes it, 9 years or 10 years and then gets out. I'm like going, I get it, 100%.
100%.
Because honestly, like, you're right, dude. I mean, the amount of, bullshit that you take. I mean, especially like, so when I was getting out, and I'm gonna catch a lot of flack for this, but whatever. The army was changing. The army. I mean, I guess it's always been this, the military as a whole, but it's a fishbowl for social experiments, right?
No shit.
And so anything that the politicians in Washington D.C. want to try to pass as a bill, before they do it to the military because we have no say in it. We just got to salute and say Raj and carry on, right?
Right.
Well, they were starting to talk about again, I'm gonna catch a lot of shit for this, but talking about putting women in the infantry and shit and stuff. and I had this conversation with every, unless they were fucking officers, and I'm talking your freaking colonels. They're the only ones that were on board with it. Anybody down on the line level, they're like, well, this is the dumbest shit I've ever heard for my life.
It's all politics, baby.
I'm like, well, you know what? Okay, fine. If you want to put women in the infantry, give them their own unit. Yeah. Don't put
it with men.
Yeah, don't put it with men. There's a reason, when you go overseas, I try to explain this to people. You get a general order number 1, right? And that pretty much covers everything.
Right.
And it's and one of the main things is no fraternization with the opposite sex. and if you think, you put a guy and a girl together in a fucking combat situation for 6 months or a year, and you don't think they're going to freaking have relations, you're dumber than a box of rocks.
No shit.
Because, it's going to happen.
It's going to happen. Yeah. So I just had Tracy on the show not too long ago, and that's one of the biggest things. She's a female veteran. She's an Air Force veteran, but she's gung ho. What she does and what she says. She makes herself memorable. That's what she told me. She's like, I got to make myself memorable so people know who I am and not feel sorry for me for being a female veteran. But that's one of the biggest things. Like, I never knew what MST was. I was like, so what the fuck is MST? They're like military sexual trauma. I was like, No idea, because I was an engineer. We didn't have we had females, but we never had them to the extent of where we're working side by side with them. We never worked side by side with them. Every time we had females checking in the unit, they put them in the office and they had them doing office work so they could work with the staff NCOs. You know, the officers and the staff NCOs.
Keep them separated, man.
Yeah, you know, so the staff NCOs can harass them and not us. You know, so they can deal with it internally than dealing with us. You know,
right?
And I never realized, I never understood it. But Tracy was saying, she's like, you know, the Navy has the highest MST in any branch. I said, really? She's like, we got to figure. These guys are going on ship. They're going on ship for for 6 months to a year, and it's both men and women. So they're confined to a ship for a set amount of time. And it's like you were saying, you go, you're together, you're together for a set amount of time, and then what? Like,
dude. Okay,
you know, shit's gonna happen.
Yeah. So I got deployed to Iraq, right, and with 10th Mountain Division, and there was I don't know, out of the company there's 150 of us, I think, all guys, not a single fucking incident, right? Because it's a bunch of dudes. Right. I mean, we did some stupid shit, don't get me wrong, you know, like there's a reason why women live longer, but at the same time, like, but there wasn't any fucking issues. And like I think the only woman we really had was back on the comp, and she was with one of the mechanics, right? And otherwise it was barren, right? And but then you completely change the situations. When I go to Afghanistan several years later, and I'm protecting a general there, an RC East, and it's a mixed environment. And now we were very clear with everybody that if you have sexual relations with the opposite sex or whatever, it's a court martial. Like,
right,
you're not looking at Article 15. It's do not pass go, do not collect $100. It's a court martial because you're disobeying a direct order in a combat zone, right?
Right.
Still happened. Freaking girl got pregnant. Guy got court martialed. She got knocked down to private. And I mean, it's just, you know, it was a freaking mess. She got to get sent home for medical, whatever. And I mean. And so I went to college after the military for about a year and a half. And I remember I did a paper in English comp. And my professor was a self-proclaimed feminist, right?
Oh, shit.
She let everybody know it. And I'm like, okay. So we had to do an introduction argument proposal. And so I chose why women shouldn't be in special forces. I mean, I wanted to get it out of the way. You know, like
let me go ahead and get this out of the way and let them know how I feel.
Yeah,
that's one of the biggest things. I mean, I've been with my wife for 21 years, and that's one of the biggest things. She knows it. She's like, "You're sexist as fuck." I said, to an extent, yeah, very much so. Yeah. Very much so. I am very sexist.
I'm a realist. I'm not
Yeah, absolutely, a realist. I mean, because for me, like you said, a woman in infantry, you're like, hold up. If I'm having to carry around the barrel of a fucking 50 cal in the body of a 50 cal, or a 5 gallon jug of water, or a freaking 150 pound can of ammo, your ass better be able to do it.
Dude, here's the thing that always got me. Like, I remember specifically when I was in the, especially at drum, man, like the rule was in the infantry, like, is the smallest dude had to be able to carry the biggest dude. Right, with all his shit on,
with everything on,
with everything on. And so, like, I mean, I wasn't a very big dude. I was like 100, like 5. I'm 5'8", 5'9", and before my first deployment, I weighed $155, maybe.
Right, you know? Right.
And I came back from Iraq $170, but you know, there wasn't a whole lot to do except for work out. But anyway, but like, I had to carry the biggest dude who was easily 230.
Right.
You know, you put all his body armor on him and shit like that. I mean, like, I was able to do it, but it sucked.
It sucked, right? It sucked. But it's the way it should be, because everybody has to hold their own, because you never know. Yeah. In a combat situation, you're going to have to drag somebody. Regardless, if you can't pick him up, your ass better be able to drag him.
Yeah.
You know?
And like, I mean, so anyway, I wrote this whole paper. Like one of my biggest, like one was that I wanted to see if she was going to grade me based on content or actual, like, you know, grammar and the shit that she's supposed to grade me on.
Right.
And the biggest thing, I obviously I made enough good points because it changed her point of view on it. Oh. And one of the things that really did it was that going, you know what? So long as one woman is serving in the United States infantry or combat arms, all women had to sign up for the draft. Because I brought forth the whole, like, there was in 1981 there was a Supreme Court ruling that, like, a lawyer brought in front of the Supreme Court based off equal rights, equal protection, right? About women not having to sign up for the draft. And the Supreme Court ruled that women don't have to sign up for the draft because if the draft's ever implemented, it's for combat arms. And because women aren't allowed in combat arms, they're void from having to sign up for the draft, which, I mean, I completely agree with. Like, okay, I get it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you get it because you're like combat arms. You can't do anything if you don't. You're not combat ready. But now they, like you said, the feminists are going around and saying, "Well, I want to be in infantry." Yeah, no, you don't. No, you don't. Like, yeah. And if that's the case, then all women, because then now it's a double-edged sword because now it's like, well, not all women want to be in infantry. Only certain women want to be in infantry. Yeah. But it's like, well, but now not all guys want to go. Not all guys want to go and fucking draft either. You know what I'm saying? It's the same shit. It's the same shit. But as soon as
you turn 18, guess what? Your name goes on a fucking bulletin board.
Yeah, as a man, you don't get the option. You don't get the option to say, I don't want to do this either. Well, as a woman, you don't have that option to say that either now. Now that everybody, all the females, I mean, because in the Marine Corps, it's been the same way too. Females are starting to, I think they just started their own female battalion of infantry. I mean, there ain't probably but like 6 females in it. But they started their own as well from last time that I looked into it, that I read about it. But it's like you're saying, though. I mean, if that's going to be the case, if there's women out, well, right now, where women are right now, they have fucking shot themselves in the foot. I'm sorry. I've told my wife that shit. I said, you guys have fought because you guys have been so segregated for so long, right? You guys fought for equal rights. You guys fought for equal freedom. And now there's these transgender men that are taking it all from you. They're winning the beauty pageants. They're winning the lifting competitions. They're winning the sport and academic freaking college tuitions from the universities. The men that are saying that they're women. And whenever you go talk to a woman, when you talk to some of these women, they're like, no, they should have the same rights we have. I said a man should have the same rights that you have. I thought you fought for this. Ain't this what you fought for back in the fucking 60s? Yeah. To be able to be equal as everybody else, to be as equal as men?
Like what cracks me up about this shit is like they're the same ones that want to freaking throw science in your face.
No shit.
Right? Like I mean, like they're sitting there like they want to throw science in your face when it comes to anything that I don't know, something whatever stupid, right?
Right.
Like, freaking the environment or whatever.
Right.
But as soon as you want to throw freaking science into like there are 2 sexes. I mean that's biology.
That's 101. Biology 1. Everybody went to school. Everybody did this. Everybody knows. There's 2 sexes, man.
I mean, like there is XX and XY.
What exactly? Exactly. That's what chromosomes you have. Whatever chromosomes you have in your body, that is that lets you know if you're a man or a woman.
And, I mean, I fight with this like constantly with, you know, I mean, and I'm just all I can do is just sit back going, you know what? All right, because it's not worth my breath.
No,
you know, it's like I mean, because as soon as like I sit there going like, well, science says this. Well, I don't know. That's how they feel. I'm like, well, then okay. Then the next time you bring up global warming, I want to say I don't feel that way. And whatever.
That's all global warming. She don't even get me started on that nonsense. I'm like, global warming. I said, where's it at? I haven't reached a day over 100 degrees this summer at all, and it's usually 105, 110. I haven't even reached over 100 degrees. Where's the global warming at? Tell me that. Tell me where the fuck that's at. You know what I'm saying?
I always tell people, you want to solve global warming? How about you figure out how the Sahara Desert, being a freaking ocean to being the Sahara Desert?
Right.
And then we can start talking about global warming.
No shit, dude. Like, I swear. That's like the nonsense that's coming out, man. So when you got out, when did you get out of the Army?
2014, July.
So you're pretty fresh too, dude. You're pretty fresh too.
Yeah.
2014 is not that long ago. But I mean, yeah. So how was that transition when your time came to an end? How was that transition for you,
dude? You know, I can almost, you know, it wasn't that long ago, so I can remember it pretty well. And like the first, I guess the first 3 weeks or so, it was kind of I guess it didn't really click that I was out.
Right.
You know,
right.
because the first 3 weeks is kind of like a post-deployment leave.
Right.
You know,
yeah,
like,
because you're trying to get back in the groove of shit, right?
Yeah, right. And man, like, and I instantly got thrown into like some family shit too, because like I found out. So I got back from Afghanistan February 9th, 2014, and I was out of the Army in July of 2014. So I find out the day that I get back, like February 9th, that my mom had stage 4 breast cancer.
Oh,
right.
Shit. Yeah.
And so like, and my mom at the time was 75, you know, so I'm like, what the fuck? You know, like,
right.
What the hell? Like, I mean, and I'm just like, okay, well, I don't even like what? Like, I've just cracked open the very first beer that I had in 6 months. And, and like, I'm getting my sisters hit me with this. I'm like, man, wow. Like, oh, okay. So I get out of the Army and my mom's have like the first week I'm out, my mom's in surgery getting a double mastectomy. Right.
Wow.
So I'm instantly faced with that. And on top of that, my dad is like, his kidney function is down to like 21%.
Damn.
You know? And so for me, it was just kind of like, man, what the fuck is happening right now?
Right.
You know? And so like, I mean, I really didn't. And so anyway, my mom gets through her thing and she's going through chemo and I'm trying to help her. And I guess finally it kind of hit me like, and then my wife, I was married at the time. And so my ex-wife and now ex-wife, were kind of started having issues and we ended up getting divorced 6 months after that. And so like, and really, I guess it all comes down to like, I really had this sense of abandonment because, you know, in the military, you're surrounded by your dudes, you know, like through no matter what, whether you're right, wrong, or whatever, they're on your side. Like they might tell you like, dude, this is the dumbest shit I've ever heard of before in my life. Like you're fucked up, but hey, I got your back. We're going to get through this shit together. Right. And either they're going to get in front and walk you through it, or they're going to get behind you and push you through it. But one way or the other, they're getting you through it, right?
Getting you through it. No, that's the biggest thing, man. That's why I do this show. That's what I love about doing this show is that I get to talk to you guys, man. Some of you guys I would have never met if I didn't have this show. You know, this is a great opportunity. I get to meet you, you know. But that's what I tell people. I said that's that's probably one of the biggest struggles that we have as veterans is that camaraderie, that brotherhood. Because when you're in service, they're always there. Like you said, they're either in front or they're behind you. They got you. They're always there. But when you get out and you move back home or you move wherever, they're not there no more. And you're like, what the fuck, dude? Like, I don't have somebody pushing me through it. I don't have somebody helping me through this shit.
You learn, and there's another thing that's difficult with the Army teaches you. It teaches you to be there for others, and it teaches you to rely on others too. Like
right.
Don't be afraid to accept help from whatever. Right. And so like you learn, so it teaches you a different type of family, to where when you get out, your own family doesn't feel like family anymore because they don't
not at all
because they're not holding the same standards that the military family did. You know, and so you get hit with all these freaking this basically letdowns. You know, like every time you turn the corner, you're being let down by somebody. You know,
shit.
And like it just like you expect somebody to do one thing because that's what you've learned to expect in the military from the people you're surrounded with, and you're having to wake up to the fact that you're no longer in the military. Right. And that people aren't like that. You know, it's everybody's looking out for themselves.
Right.
And if they're not, if helping you doesn't benefit them somehow, then they're not going to do it. Right.
No, absolutely. Yeah.
We would like to give a huge thanks to Rafa 180. Rafa 180 offers pure medicinal CBD and products made locally. They walk alongside individuals to achieve a healthy lifestyle with options needed by each person. You can learn more about them on Facebook at Rafa CBD, their website www.rafa180.com, or email at rafacbd@gmail.com. They truly believe your journey matters.
My whole family going, hey, you need to get back to who you were before the military. And
you can't.
You can't, right? And then I remember I was with my dad in the VA in Dallas, and this place is huge. And like every veteran within, Oklahoma, within the 200 miles comes to the one in Dallas. And I was sitting there waiting for my dad to get some blood work done. And I'm sitting next to this Vietnam guy. And he just kind of looked. I'm not wearing anything military, dude. I got a white T-shirt on and freaking pair of jeans and cowboy boots, right? And he just looks at me, he goes, so how long you been out? And I'd only been out for probably not even a year yet. And I go, not quite a year. He goes, everybody wanting you to go back to being normal. I'm like, yeah. He goes, yeah. Well, he goes, don't. He goes, it's impossible. You are who you are now. And he goes, accept it and go forward. He goes, and honestly, you're better than you were before. And right. they're just jealous because they can't be you. And I'm just like, that helped. It's like, I stopped trying to go back to who I was before, and just accepted the fact that I'm an infantryman, and I'm always going to be that infantry guy. And my outlook on the world has changed forever.
No, absolutely. I mean, that's like I said a couple episodes ago. I had Joshua David Linney from Karma Corps on the show, and that's one of the biggest things that we talked about. Is like, the Army and Marine Corps, they're very similar. There's a lot of similarity in it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. There's a lot of gung-ho, we got to get shit done type mentality, versus like the Navy or the Air Force or Space Force.
Yeah, absolutely. The fuck, I agree 100%. Yeah.
And that was one of the things I was telling him, because he's probably served his Army too. And he was like, that's one of the things that sucks, is that during that time when you going through boot camp, they cut off that your emotional line. How to be emotional with people, how to be me. I joined at 17, so I was still fucking young as shit, dude. I wasn't even an adult yet. I was 17. I was still a fucking kid when I joined the Marine Corps. But that's one of the biggest things that they did, is they cut that, because when you're going through boot camp, that's one of the things they teach you. They say, don't be emotionally connected to shit. You got to take that out, because if you become emotionally connected, then you're going to lose the war. You're going to lose the fight. Yeah. And so, like I said, I did 9 years, 2 tours to the desert. That's one of the biggest things, that is like, you cannot be emotionally connected. You become emotionally connected, you're going to die. And they beat that shit into you. And in boot camp, man, they beat that shit into you. They beat it until you don't have no more emotions. And now when you get out of service, everybody's like, why you act like that? Man, you aren't emotionally connected to shit. I can't be emotionally connected to anything, because it's going to hurt me. It's going to hurt me. And I can't allow it to hurt me. And I think that's what hurts us as veterans, especially when we're in relationships. Say you're engaged, you got a fiance, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, or whatever the case may be, a wife or whatever. That's one of the biggest struggles I have with my wife. I've been with her for 21 years, and that's one of the biggest struggles, that she's like, you're never emotionally there. And I'm like, I don't fucking know how to be. I'm doing what I thought I was being emotional, but I guess I'm not being emotionally connected.
Yeah, right.
And it's a struggle. I mean, you guys know, all you guys watching the show, how many of y'all struggle being emotionally connected to not just relationships with your spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, but with other people? Other people who aren't veterans that you work with on a regular basis, 9 to 5, or when you go fishing, or you go hunting, or you go to the fucking Walmart, or wherever the fuck you go. When you start meeting friends, because that's one of the biggest things my wife tells me. She's like, you gotta go make friends. I say, how do you make friends? I don't understand how to make friends, Yeah. And I mean, I can talk to you guys. You guys are my brothers. You're my buddy, man. I got you, dude. Like we've been there. We've done the shit. We know how to talk to each other. But for me to go talk to a civilian, and not allow him to understand my chaos and my nonsense.
We can talk to each other, because we know that, like, we know we're not, that the person we're talking to is not going to get emotional, right? Like, we're not going to hurt somebody's feelings, you know, because there aren't any to fucking hurt.
Right.
You know,
right. No shit, right.
I mean, I swear, like, I talk to some people, like, I go out to a bar or whatever else, I meet some random Joe, blah, 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 and I'm sitting there talking to him. After a few, I start cussing at him like he's a fucking soldier, and he's not. And he's looking at me like I just got, like, pissed in his fucking oatmeal, right? And they all of a sudden, like, they're walking away, and they're all, you know, like, they're pissed off at me because I've created a whole paragraph out of
fuck this, fuck that, you fucking bullshit. I can't believe this shit.
And I'm just like going, well, dude, that's just how I talk sometimes, you know.
It's
like,
just the way I talk because I'm used to talking that way. I've been talking that way for so many fucking years. Like, it's just I can't do nothing, dude. That's just the way it is.
Yeah, and like it's funny to me, like, you know, like, that's the thing is, everybody like you, I don't know, everybody's had, especially all the other veterans listening, like, they've had that thing, you know, thank you for the service, and people wanting to talk and, you know, be your friend and shit, until it comes time to, like, you start being their friend, right? Like, okay, yeah, we can be friends. And then you're being their friend like you would be a friend of your buddy in the infantry or their buddy in the military. And all of a sudden they can't handle it because they haven't experienced what we've experienced. They haven't been through boot camp. They haven't had the softness knocked off of them. Right. You know? And
they haven't lost that emotional connection, that emotional nerve that we have in us that was severed while in boot camp and while serving. We severed that thing because, like they said, you become emotionally connected, you lose the war, you lose the fight. You know, and it sucks, dude. Like I said, like I said, my wife tells me you need to go make friends. I said, how do you do that? Like, I don't understand how you make friends with people. I don't get that. You know.
Yeah.
And I mean, trying to talk with people, like you said, trying to relate to them and talk to them, like people who have never really had to make an ultimate sacrifice, dude. Like, I mean, for us, it's like I tell everybody that watches the show, me and you were brothers, regardless if I haven't met you yet or not. If you signed that dotted line and said, I will protect this country against enemies, foreign and domestic, you are my brother, you are my sister. We're tied together. We all signed that same dotted line saying that we will protect this country against enemies, foreign and domestic. And regardless of what you're doing or how you're doing, you're my brother. Regardless, you watching the show, I appreciate you guys watching the show and hanging out with me, because the reason you're watching, you can probably relate. You can probably relate to the people I bring on the show, other brothers and sisters that are doing things in the community, trying to make a difference after serving, right? Because that's one of the biggest struggles that we have is like, what do I do now? How do I live life now? Sergeant G ain't in the corner telling me what to do, how to do, when to do it anymore. You know, because that's one of the biggest things while serving. You always told what to do, when to do it, how to do it, what uniform to wear for the day. Every day while you're in, every day, fucking Sunday through Saturday, every day somebody's telling you what to do, how to do, when to do it, right? And then you get out and nobody's telling you what to do anymore. Now you're your own person and you're like,
yeah,
how the fuck do I do this? Like, how am I supposed to live life? How do I go to work? How do I?
That was another thing. Like,
you know,
at one point, like, I mean, after the Army, I went to college for a little bit. And then I went and worked for a company, a defense contractor that, you know, whatever. And then after that, I went back to being a plumber, and I found out the construction world had changed significantly in the 10 years I'd been out of it. And it's a bunch of pansy asses that don't know shit anymore. And then, really, it's kind of another big wake up call is like America had gotten soft.
No, you know, we definitely have.
That's what it felt like. You know, I get out and, like, you know, before I was I was in the construction world where, you know, the guys were tough as axe handles, you know, and just, you know, there were the people that I knew were tough, and, you know, and like calloused, you know, and then I get out and everybody I meet's got a freaking, you know, a tear on their shoulder. You know, I didn't get it. And so then like kind of like did a couple of odds and ends and finally realized, man, I just don't want to work I don't want to work for anybody anymore.
Right. And that's the biggest thing. I mean, as a veteran, I mean, a lot of us veterans, you guys have seen it on my show. I bring on tons of veteranpreneurs. That's one of the biggest struggles as a veteran, is working for somebody else. After you get out of service, it's like, I don't want to take orders from anybody else. I got to figure this shit out, man. I got to figure out something to do because you guys still got to bring in money. I still got to work, you know, and that's one of the biggest struggles, dude, is how do I do something? How do I make money for myself, you know?
Yeah.
And so what is it that you're doing now?
I do a lot of ghostwriting right now.
Oh, wow.
And so I mean, and on top of writing trying to get this book out, I ghostwrite for, a couple of different companies here and there. And basically they do articles for Google. Like, when you pop up Google and you do a search for off-road tires, right? Chances are I probably wrote that article about the best off-road tires for whatever, right? I mean, my name's not on it, but that's probably my article. Right. And same thing for fly fishing. I fly fish for since I was 20, right? That's another one of the stories that's in my book, the fly fishing fiasco, where I was I started fly fishing before there was YouTube, right? There wasn't anything to show me how to fucking cast, right?
Right.
I'm here, and on top of that, I'm in Texas, so there's nobody to show me how to fly fish because everybody's using a spinning reel or a bait caster for bass. Right. Here I am trying to use a fly rod to catch bass. Anyway, so the only thing I had to go off of was the movie A River Runs Through It.
Oh, shit.
So I get out in the middle of this river, man, middle of the Trinity River that runs through Fort Worth here, and I'm out there trying to use this fly rod, trying to figure out how to cast, and I realized real quick that fly fishing isn't just something you can pick up and do.
Right. Right.
And you learn a lot of very important things pretty quick. Like for instance, that hooks are sharp. And there's a whole freaking mess. I'm not going to ruin the story for anybody, but it's a good one. But anyway, so if you come across articles about fly rods or fly fishing or best fly, chances are I wrote that article.
Okay.
And so that's what I did. And the thing about it is, it all started, that part of it anyway, becoming a ghostwriter, was I wrote a review for a local business here, a restaurant, and it did so well at bringing in more customers for him that they tossed me $20 and a couple of free meals.
Oh, no shit.
And I was like, well, shit, maybe I started looking into being a freelance writer, and I started putting in, articles and putting in applications for places and whatever else. It took, I got shot down a lot, but then I started getting picked up, and now I'm writing a book,
right.
And that's the thing is, I like to think that not just anybody can write, I don't want to make it sound like, just anybody can write, because not just anybody can write.
No, absolutely.
You've got to have a pretty good grasp of the English language, and you've got to have a pretty good grasp of punctuation and this and that. And you've got to be a good storyteller.
Right.
People don't want to just, people don't want to read a monologue by the teacher from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. You know what I mean?
Right. I just watched that movie not too long ago, man.
Yeah, exactly. It's great. It was one of my favorites.
Love the movie. One of my favorites. Yeah.
But if you think you're pretty good at writing, dude, just jump in and try it. And
absolutely, man. Absolutely. Because that's like I said, man, everybody has their niche. Everybody has their thing.
Yeah.
Some people can make t-shirts. Some people can rap. Some people can act. Right. Some people can write. There's so many different things out there. That's what I love about my show, because I brought on so many great guests, dude. I've had so many great veterans that came on my show that are doing great things. And it's like I tell people, I said, don't be discouraged, dude. Do you get frustrated? You're like, I just don't know. You just don't know until you try it.
Yeah.
Get out there and try it.
And that's the thing. And there's one of those things I talked to a couple other buddies. I got a old medic buddy who I was in the Army with, and he's talking about wanting to write a book. I'm like, hey man, I tell you what, you send me what you've got, a chapter or two, I'll tell you if it's any good or not. you know, and I'll tell you if like, I think you should, you know, I'll be brutally fucking honest. You know, I'm either going to tell you, yeah, it's fucking great and keep going. Or I'm going to tell you, you might want to go take a class in English comp,
right?
You know, or whatever. I mean, like if you really want to be a writer,
then you got to do your work. You got to put your foot down. You got to put your work in, man. That's what a lot of people. I think that's the biggest struggle, though. I mean, especially me. I mean, for me, when I started the Stone Vet, I mean, it was a struggle. So I was like, I don't know how I'm going to do it. I don't know the angle I'm going to come with. You know, I'm a huge. My biggest thing is advocating for the medicinal use of medicinal cannabis, having cannabis medicinally available to everybody that needs it. You know.
Yeah.
And for me, I mean, that's one of the biggest struggles. I was like, how do I get people to watch the show? How do I get this? How do I get that, dude? And you got to take a step. You have to be willing to take that step forward. It starts with one download. It starts with one subscriber, and then it grows. You know, I got 3 little girls inside. Man, I got a 4-year-old, a 7-year-old, and a 10-year-old, and they love this girl Afmal. This girl Afmal, all she does is videos on fucking Minecraft. She does Minecraft and other various computer games. And they're like, look, Dad, look how many downloads look how many views she has. Like one video, like she published a video 2 hours ago and it had like 2.4 million. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah,
like, there's
right.
that many kids out there that are watching this shit. My wife said, yeah. They sit there and watch it, you know? And I was like, well, maybe eventually one day you guys watching the show will share it with your buddy and be like, look, you got to listen to this guy. This guy's got some good shit. So where I can get up, hell, let me get at least 1,000 downloads. You know what I'm saying?
So you're on this, like, so the Veteran Social Summit, right?
Yeah.
And there was this, I actually attended like on, via the internet, right? Last year. And the first annual, right? And there was a guy on there who's talking about writing, and he actually said, he goes, there's somebody out there that needs or wants to read or hear what you have to say.
Yeah.
So just fucking go for it.
Absolutely.
You know, like, and the funny thing is, like, it hit me really hard because I walked through Barnes and Noble back when Barnes and Noble was a thing, right? Before all this other crazy crap came out. And like, I sit there and I look at some of these books that are coming out that are crap.
Right.
You know, like, and I'm like, Jesus, I can write better than that blindfold.
Right.
You know, like,
right.
My worst story is better than that, you know? Right. And then like, but I kind of like at the same time, I guess is like the whole thing from Back to the Future where like, what if somebody reads it and doesn't like it? You know, like I don't know if I can handle that kind of rejection, but you know, you don't know if you're going to be rejected until you try.
Right.
And so like some of the best shit, like what that guy said was like, there's somebody out there that
wants to hear your story,
needs or wants to hear your story.
Absolutely, man. That's what I tell you guys. I mean, especially the guys that are following me on this show that have been following me for some time now. This is what I love about doing the show. It's like I tell you guys, I was scared when I first started because I was like, I don't know where I'm going to go. And you can see through my episodes, I keep getting a little bit better and a little bit better and a little bit better and a little bit better, you know, because it comes with time. Doing this on a regular basis, getting in there and doing it every day, right? I mean, right now, I think I'm over 1,300 downloads right now on my audio version of this show because I'm able to do this, the video portion of it for those guys who have time to watch the video. And those people who are working that like to listen to Sergeant G and whoever he's bringing on that week, they can listen to it on any audio platform that they listen to their podcast on, which is great. I've been pushing that, man. I tell them right now I'm in a competition in the Veteran Podcast Awards. My brother Shane over at Broken Jarhead created the Veteran Podcast Awards because he noticed that there's no Veteran Podcast Awards. Like you don't win an award. So he took it upon himself to create this platform. And one of the biggest things was that us veterans who have podcasts, that we are able to compete for this Warhammer. He had a Warhammer. It's the trophy. It's a Warhammer. It's a cool ass Warhammer, you know. And I love it because I'm like, I hope you guys go out there and you guys vote for me because I want to win this because I'm doing some awesome freaking things with you guys, them, you know. And so hopefully, maybe I get to win it. I mean, I think voting closes September 18th is when voting closes, and October 1st is when they will be bringing in. They'll be announcing the winner of this. So, you know, I'm trying to go out there. I'm trying to push it. So you guys can come out and listen to it. But me, like I said, I started this a year ago. Since September. It's been a year since I've been doing this. I've been trying to figure it out here and there, man. But I've associated myself with a lot of veterans that are doing a lot of amazing things. Veteranpreneurs who are like, we got to work together to help each other out. Plain and simple. Yeah. And that's what we're supposed to do as a community, is help each other out any way that we can.
That's part of our motto, isn't it? Like we take care of our own.
We take care of our own, man. Absolutely. And that's the biggest thing. That's what I tell you guys, is that how are you building your community around you? I can't tell you what the community is like wherever you live, anywhere in the U.S. I mean, like I said before, Travis Johnson informed me there's over 22,000 veteran nonprofits in the U.S. 22,000. And if you're at home and you're bummed out trying to figure out what the fuck can I do, I need to do something, go help a veteran nonprofit. Go help them out. See how you can help them. Can you help them run an event? Can you help them reach out to the community to say, hey, we're having an event coming up. Would you mind sponsoring? Would you consider sponsoring the event for us to help us out, help us get the word out? You know what I'm saying? Figure that out, because once you start getting dipping your foot into different things like that, you start realizing, oh, I like doing this. And you can start being a promoter. You can start being an advertiser. You can start doing shit,
Yeah. And man, anybody who hasn't done any volunteer work, I've got to sit there and say, go do one. Like, just go do even if it's not a veteran-owned thing. Like, just go do a volunteer. Like, I remember, like, one of the first things I did ever. Like this, I was still a plumber at the time, and I've done it a few times after being out of the military too. Is like I went and did Habitat for Humanity, where like I helped build a house, right? And because I've been in the construction world, like I know how to swing a damn hammer, right? So that's where I know that I excel at, and I can be beneficial, right?
Right.
Man, that was it was fun as shit, right? Right. And two, it was probably like, I was on this one project here recently that like, it was, I guess it was last year or 2 years ago now. And like, we worked on this one house, like these 3 houses, pretty much for a month solid. And at the end of it, we handed the keys over to the families that they were going to be going to. Probably the best feeling I've ever had for my life.
No, it's awesome. It absolutely is awesome. I think for us as veterans, that's one of the things we always want to see somebody else doing better than us. We always want to help somebody, make sure that they're getting better than us, man. And I think that's one of the struggles. I mean, that's one of the things we deal with is depression, anxiety, and fucking everything else, our body aches and pains. And I think whenever those dark times come to us, it's kind of like, I feel worthless. I can't do nothing. No, you can. You're able-bodied. If you're able-bodied, go and help a nonprofit. Go help them. Like you said, when you handed over the keys to these people for building a house, it's just like, oh, wow, I did that. I was able to help with that, man.
Yeah.
Well, Michael, we're getting close to the end of the show, man. Okay. How do you want to sign out? How do you want to tell these people to look out for you, to keep an eye out for what you're doing?
So the book's probably going to be released next year, but I'm going to be doing a whole lot of promoting between now and then. It's called Life's Memorable Moments. And it's volume 1 of right now, looking at volume 1 of 2. And it's just going to be a lot of fun to read. So just hit me up on Facebook. Keep in contact. My name, that's Michael.McGarrey. Just find me on Facebook. I'm pretty easy. I'm the only one I know of. And hit me up. Stay tuned. There's going to be a lot more coming.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like I tell you guys, man, I'll have any way to get in contact with Michael. You want to tell him some stories? You want to listen to some stories? I'm sure he'll be willing to give up a little bit of stories. I'll have a way to get in contact with him down below in the description box, how to get in contact with him with every way. So you guys keep an eye out for his book, because guess what? We got to support him. We got to get out there when that book's launched. We got to get out there and get that book and start reading it. Cause I get you. He told me a couple of stories, and it fucking had me cracking up too, dude. I was like, holy shit, I can't believe this. But I mean, they're great stories, man. Like I tell you guys, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Make sure you subscribe to my channel when you get my episodes every Friday. Like I said, I got Wednesday, Friday, and I go live every Thursday night, 8 Eastern time, so 7 Central is when I go live. I do it for about 45 minutes. And I guess I talk about my nonsense and the shit that I feel is going on in our country, which ain't good. So, man, like I said, another shout out to my sponsor, Rafa 180. Rafa 180 providing you the best medicinal grade CBD product on the market. If you were considering trying CBD, definitely try Rafa 180. Go to Rafa 180 and try their CBD. If you don't think it works, give it a shot. I'm telling you, I can get you off a majority of the opioids the VA continues pounding down your throat for pain management, for high blood pressure, for anxiety, for depression. If you get on the right CBD, I guarantee I can get you off your medications and get you living a normal life without poisoning your body, without poisoning your intestines, your liver, your kidneys, and everything else. Like, that's a side effect of taking the medications that you take, man. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me on this Friday, getting to enjoy the time together, hanging out with Michael here, getting ready to just listen to his craziness and his nonsense, man. I love having my brothers on. Like I said, this is my therapy session to hang out with you guys, man. Remember, guys, here at the Stone Vet, we got your six.
The best out situations, I stay alert for my enemies trying to do me some harm. I fight for your freedom of speech and your right to bear arms. When I say I got your six, that means I got your back. But what else would you expect coming from the Stone Vet? 1, 2, 3, 4 for my country, I go hardcore. Army, Navy, Air Force, Coast Guard, Marine.